This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Bros and hoes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and hoes and heroes. Gonna tell you about comic books, costumes, facts, boots, and other stuff. In this week's issue, World's Finest Wednesday.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the malnourished one doesn't fit.
Nope.
The macheted one doesn't fit. I don't know. I should always the moccasin wearing one.
Moccasin.
That's
Okay.
Mike. You ever wear moccasins?
Do you know what a malacca is?
That's like it's an instrument, isn't it?
No.
No?
It's I think it's Weird Science, where he says something about liking malacas. I don't know what that even means.
Do you not know what it is? Okay.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
But when you said moccasin, my mind immediately went to malacas.
Okay.
He likes malacas, Gino, or something like that. Is what
I don't
somebody
know.
will correct us.
Probably.
It's probably a terrible thing that I just said. But if it is, I apologize because I don't know.
Well, get ready for the comic we're about to cover.
Yeah.
Mike. World's Finest Wednesday edition today, which is usually, if you haven't tuned into the show before, we have a show on Monday, which can be anything and everything. Honestly, it's usually what it's turned into is anything post like the Crisis era in comics, so 1986 and newer. If you want some old nostalgic, just fun adventures, that's what World's Finest Wednesday is here every Wednesday on the channel. It's something silly, it's something never serious, and it's something that is always ridiculous. And the story we have today is very ridiculous, and it's kind of inspired by what we talked about on Monday. Now, I had saved our Monday episode for Wednesday, but thought we could get a fuller kind of episode out of it when we covered Bat Ombre. So after we covered it, I kind of thought more, and I was like, man, there's so many other like weird Batman things we can do in stories. And I was looking for another potential like Batman story for us to do for a World's Finest Wednesday. And what I came across when I was looking for stuff was Batman annuals. Now, this is the first annual that they made.
Well, it's the first collection ever published, it says
It
right
is.
there.
So what annuals were, I don't know if you know this or not, Mike. And I'm not trying to...
Can I ask you one quick question?
Go ahead.
Is it a regular-sized Batman?
No, it's a giant.
Okay.
It's a
That's
giant
what I thought.
Batman.
It's a giant Batman annual.
So here's what they did. I'm going to explain just a little bit of
Yeah.
comic book stuff to you.
Yeah.
So annuals in the comic book industry, if you print something monthly, you would have an issue once a month, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the way our calendar works and the way that sometimes publishing schedules
Checks out.
work, you can come up with a 13th issue, by the way, because there's 5 weeks and 7 months, 4 months, and others.
Sure.
So
Right.
to make the schedule work for the 52 weeks, sometimes there would be a 13th issue. Well, what it started, at least in the 60s here when they did it, is what they did for that scheduled issue is it was just a collection of old stories.
It's a clip show.
Yes.
It's a clip show.
It is,
But in print
comic book form.
Yeah.
So, like, the first Superman annual was a collection of Superman stories. Same with this one.
Batman
This
should wear
giant
that.
Batman annual in 1960 was a collection of old Batman stories. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them into this 80-page
Gotcha.
book. It was a bit bigger, but it was a collection of stuff. Now, Marvel kind of changed it a little bit in 63 when they had their Fantastic Four annual for that year be a completely new story and
Okay.
kind of self-contained. And so then they started doing more things with the annual. But at least at this time where we're at, it's just a collection of old stories.
Does
So
it
I
really
thought,
make sense that it's an annual if it's a brand new story? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I guess not really in a sense. But what they would do is they would have the annuals of all the different titles kind of like connect together in a way then and like crossover and do things that way. or they would have it where it's like a standalone title in that. Since it's 80 pages, you can just tell like a full-length story there and kind of make it mean,
Okay. All right.
But for our purposes,
I'm willing to play along.
Okay, for our purposes here on World's Finest Wednesday and for Bros, Foes, and Heroes, it's just a collection of old stories.
Yeah.
So I thought, man, it would be really cool if then we just worked our way through an annual for World's Finest. I wonder, and I thought this first one here, the origins of the Bat Cave, the strange costumes, throwing escapes, tales of the Bat Signal. Apparently, there's more than just one tale of the Bat Signal. And so I thought that'd be a really fun idea. I wonder what the next annuals were.
How did they get out of this and not call it the Bat Manual? Just saying.
I'm actually disappointed.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a Bat Manual.
Bat Manual.
Yeah.
I made a short a while back. I think we covered one old. Which one was it? I don't know. It was one of our Batman and Robin stories. But the cover was the fire truck, and we were debating on what they would call the bingin, is the fire bingin is what we ended on it. So the fact that it's not the Bat Manual is a loss for sure. But so I went to the next one, Mike, and the cover of the second annual alone.
By the way, Batman should wear that white suit all the time. I really like that white suit he's wearing there.
Oh, I do too.
I think that's cool looking.
The far left one?
Yeah.
So we will probably come back to some of these. The 1001 Secrets of Batman and Robin.
It's hard to be like a mystery of the night if you're wearing all white, though. That's
including How to Be Batman.
That's Moon Knight. He gets spotted a lot.
I can promise you there is also a Silver Age Batman story that involves him wearing multicolored costumes that we will get to probably.
Very nice.
Because it's like Zebra Batman, and the reason he's doing it is kind of dumb.
Zebra
so
Batman. No, come on. The reason he's doing it's dumb? No.
Yeah. Anyway, I love that, though. So I thought, all right, let me see.
You and I talked about this a little bit this morning before doing this show, is the fact that we are going into a world here with the new DCU where we may get some of these goofy-ass stories.
I love that.
Yes. No, it's great.
That. I want
we hadn't had goofy Batman in a long time.
I want, and it doesn't even have to be like super goofy. Like
No.
I don't want like
Just doesn't
George
take themselves
Clooney
too
charge it to
seriously.
my back card.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I want like
that's a whole
things to not go
different-
right for
yeah,
Batman. Kind
that's a
of
whole
it'd be
different
funny.
thing. Yeah.
I like the world's finest stories together. Which, by the way, we need another Batman and Superman team up. Man, we're gonna get a lot of Batman here soon. But
It's okay.
we'll throw some more. Anyway,
I like a lot of Batman.
So I thought, that'd be a great one. I wonder what the other ones are to find like what to dive into. And then I got to the cover, Mike, of the giant annual number 2 the next year in 1961. And that's when I knew that is exactly the one we needed to do. I'm sorry, so it has...
This is their most thrilling action roles.
It is their most thrilling action roles. Let me go ahead, as I'm going to be looking at. Let me switch sides of the
Super
screen.
Batman.
Oh, no. What is it?
Oh, and this has a pinup calendar.
So I don't have it in here. I didn't load it in. But
That's okay.
At least the scan that I had of the pinup calendar. So they printed it where you would turn the calendar sideways,
The staple on Batman's wiener. In the middle.
No, but it does it to where you don't see all the pictures of... I really have to find it. Hold on. No.
Okay.
I'm going to pull it in. So I have it here, and while I invite it in for us to look at...
So we get our choice here on this cover. We get Jungle Batman.
There we go. This is the...
Indian Chief. Doesn't say Indian Chief Batman, just says Indian Chief. Super Batman, which Superman's got that covered. Underseas Batman. When Batman was Robin, which... And then Lord of Bat Manor.
So there's also a 7th story in here that's not mentioned.
Everybody can see right up his kilt.
Yeah.
As he comes down there.
And I'll show it to you more once we get in there. There's also Batman, Magician that we will get into as well. So as you can see, there are 7 stories here, and that will be the schedule for our World's Finest Wednesdays to come here.
This is great.
But I don't want to get through all of these. Is there a way I can just skip to what slide it is? Yeah, okay. So let me do it this way, so I can show you the calendar, because you wanted to
Super Batman fights Martians.
About
apparently.
that calendar. The Batman of Zur-En-Arr is from that. I know that means nothing to you,
What,
some
who?
people who know comics.
The Batman what?
Batman from Zur-En-Arr.
Zur-En-Arr.
Grant Morrison actually uses it for his Batman run in the 2000s.
Zur-En-Arr, where you get all your fine
So here we go.
chemicals. Oh.
So where the fold is in the scan,
That's
as you
not a
can see.
pinup.
No, you turn it sideways.
Yeah, but it's still not a pinup.
But here's what I didn't like is look where they printed the pictures.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be like, hey, what was my month? Who was my month's cover girl? It's Batwoman or Batgirl. I assume it's the bottom half of Batgirl is what I get for
June?
my birthday. Yeah.
See, mine's May.
And you just get the bottom half of Batman.
I get half
and
of
he's like-
Batman.
and it looks like the crook just dropped his gun.
I just got Atman. I didn't get Batman.
Well, actually, here's the thing. You were so into it, you got Batman's crotch. So,
There we go. They
but
almost
yeah.
hit it with a staple.
So you asked, but they didn't put the staples in. They just completely
That is weird.
effed up the fold there. So that's the calendar.
So for you folks that are listening, it's a 12-month calendar with tiny little pictures it's on its side, and then right through the middle of it, we lose about half a picture.
Yeah. So it's like if you opened up, you
Robin's
had a
just
full spread page, a
Yeah.
splash page of a comic, and you just like turn it on its side
Yeah.
to be able to see it, and that's your calendar.
Yeah.
So
1962?
1962. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So we're gonna cover all these stories, and I had it here to kind of show you. Next week we're going to do the Underseas Batman. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then you can kind of tell we'll throw in the Lord of That Manor, which may or may not include a Loch Ness monster.
Okay.
I kind of brimmed through
Great.
these. Jungle Batman, I think, as we look from the cover, might wrestle a cat, right?
Nice.
I don't know why they're wearing like wrestling singlets.
Why aren't they wearing
Yeah.
they're just not wearing clothes?
Well, as you can see in the description, they're stranded without their crime fighting equipment.
Oh, okay. That includes clothes, but masks.
When
are
Batman
fine.
was Robin, I know a little bit about,
Uh-huh.
just because I've seen it come up before. I'm pretty sure it's insinuating that Batman's dad was the first Batman.
Oh, okay.
But so when he wore the
That's
Robin costume,
dumb, but all right.
Batman, magician.
Uh-huh. I like that.
Assuming the guise of master escape artist, but he's not Mr. Miracle.
Wizard of Illusion.
And Wizard of Illusion. And then Batman, Superman of Planet X, which I told you was the Batman's art. We are focusing on
With the aid of his assistant, Robin. With a big exclamation
on the
point.
pinup calendar.
Very
we are
nice.
focusing on. So here's what I
Oh,
did.
come on.
I told you that they were all collections, right?
Yeah.
So I did because I wanted to make sure that I gave the credit where credit was due.
So
on
you went
stuff.
back and found the actual
And I went and
one it came
found
from.
where it actually appeared then. I think we covered that the Silver Age was what, like 54 through 70?
Sure.
Some of these comics and these stories fall briefly out, but we don't deal with
25
the
cents for
semantics of
80
that.
pages is not a bad deal. Though.
No, it's not. What was this, 1961, I said, right?
62.
No, but it came out in 61 because that's the calendar for 62.
Excuse me, Mr. Comic Book.
Just saying. 25 cents in 1961 is worth $2.65.
That's still a good deal for 80 pages.
Here's what I can tell you. Comics now for 20 something pages for single issues, you're dropping at least $5-6 for a single issue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't get. I'm weird. I think we've talked about this. I like to read a whole story.
Yeah.
There's very few things right now that going out and buying the singles makes sense for. So.
Yeah. I think one of the last ones you did was that Under the Trees.
Oh yeah,
right?
Beneath the Trees where nobody
Beneath
sees.
the Trees,
And that was
sorry.
because it was, I don't know, it was a little bit different.
It was
to
a good
me,
series.
I felt. It was
Yeah.
really good because Patrick Horvath did both. He wrote it and he did the art, and it was IDW too. Or
He
Boom.
also built tension
Was it Dark Horse?
by
Yeah,
not
no.
putting them out all the time.
Exactly,
And you not
because
being
it was,
able to read all through it.
bi-monthly, and it made me feel like it built it more. I would get so frustrated. Go back
Yeah.
and check those out. That was a really good series.
They're very good. Yeah.
So I went back and
I
found.
mean, not as good as Batman Indian Chief, but still.
No. And let's go ahead and let's get to that cover. So that story first appeared in Batman Volume 1, issue number 86 from September of 1954.
Man of the Bats and Little Raven.
Yeah.
Slay them,
Yeah. So our cover
Says-
artist there.
says the Indian guys who are totally wearing full pants and shoes.
So our cover artist is Win Mortimer and Irish Snap. Our story,
I love a good Irish
Batman
snap.
Indian Chief, was written by Ed Herron. Penciler is Sheldon Moldoff, or as I've heard a lot of people affectionately call him, Shelley Moldoff, although
Shelley Moldoff.
I do not know the man, but Shelley Moldoff, the penciler. Inker Stan Kaye, and letters are Pat Gordon there.
Is this
I don't know if you wanted to know this, but Batman issue number 87 came out after 86.
great?
Yeah.
Is this an oil derrick?
It is an
Okay,
oil
all
derrick.
right.
Oh, hey, and I did not do this on purpose,
Yeah.
but I have a oil derrick.
Oh
on my
yeah, you
shirt
got the
now,
Houston
too.
Oilers on. Yeah. Look at you.
Yeah. I found this about. I was telling you about annuals. I guess I explained that pretty well. I feel like I explained annuals pretty well. All right, I'm closing that out.
You
We
did.
don't need it. So
Little Raven.
I'm just like, yeah. Let's get into our story today of Batman and Indian Chief.
Boy.
I love this explanation of how it starts the story off. Like, it has a box. It opens the scene if it's like Batman wearing a headdress and Robin with like a headband with one single feather, and they all have, Batman has a shield with like an eagle on it and a sword, and
That's a
Robin
bat.
has a bow and arrow.
It's a bat
That's
on his
not
shield.
a bat.
It is a bat. That's what
Okay.
it's supposed to be.
It's a bat that looks like an eagle.
Yeah, it looks terrible, but it's a bat.
And other Indians, he's like on a mine cart. Like I'm trying to describe this the best way I can for
yeah,
our
like
audio
Runaway
listeners.
Mine Train at Six Flags.
Yeah, except Robin's riding it, and Batman's just standing there deflecting arrows as
Robin is a runaway mine cart.
as other Native Americans are around there, just like shooting arrows up at him.
Yeah.
And our introductory, I guess, paragraph to this in the little yellow box with this whole wow, what's going on? It's a new role indeed for Batman and Robin when they become stand-ins for Batman and Robin?
What?
Confusing, you say? Well, read on and you'll see that it makes perfect sense.
None of this is going to make perfect sense. None of it.
When the Cape Crime Buster dons the attire of Man of the Bats, gallant mass lawman of the West, and begins his role as Batman, Indian Chief.
Those are two very different things.
Yeah, very much so. It's so funny. Like your background behind you is the flying toasters.
Yeah.
And for a second when I was going to the next page, I saw one fly and I was like, did something just fly off the page? Oh, man. So this is very funny to me. Batman and Robin, they're flying home from a mission far away from Gotham.
Sure.
Where are they at? We don't know. We just know it's far away. How far away?
Robin, get comfortable. It's a long flight. Take
It
your
is.
mask off.
10 hours.
Take your mask off.
At least 10 hours.
Put your feet up.
That's what they're doing. And as they're just flying by and says it'll be about 10 hours till they're back home in Gotham.
10
and they're
hours.
like, yeah, so I don't know how far away this is.
When's he got a bat piece?
But just because we covered Bat Ombre on Monday, and I wanted to point it out that South America didn't have a Batman, but isn't a 10-hour flight, if Gotham is essentially New York, couldn't you get to South America in 10 hours?
I would think so. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
where
None of this
is he
stuff makes
going
any
for
sense.
this? Anyway.
Now, my first question would be, can Robin also fly this plane? Because if Robin cannot fly this plane, then Batman is probably peeing in a bottle. Right? Because he can't get up.
No, that's true.
He's got a 10-hour flight.
Hear me out, Mike. To that argument, if you look in the right top panel,
Yeah.
where's his right hand?
Yeah.
I think he's like, I'm going to use this time of him looking out the window
Well, I'm pissing
to
a bottle.
relieve myself.
Sure.
Have we ever talked about that
Bat
a lot
piss.
of, I mean, this is the best time to talk about it. Have we ever talked about it that a lot of Batman fans really are mad at Kevin Smith, or not now, but like at the time were really pissed off at Kevin Smith when he wrote a Batman story. I think it was the Winding Gyre, Winding, whatever it was, because he's talking to somebody in there and he's retelling like his first time being Batman, which we see it's retelling the scene from Batman Long Halloween, of where he like appears at the mob boss dinner, like scares the shit out of everyone and leaves kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's like his first like, oh, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Well, when he tells the story and he tells the person he's telling him that he was so nervous that he pissed himself, and people got mad that Batman would pee himself for being so nervous. But like,
Give it a couple of years and they're going to show his wiener. So, I mean, it's fine.
Mike, we've already covered them showing his wiener.
That's what I'm saying. It's Bat Wiener.
That's Batman.
We already
Damned.
got it.
That's Batman Damned, if you want to go back and check that one. Although,
Yeah, go back and check out Batman's wiener.
we don't show it. We talk about it. Oh, man. I don't know if that's a selling point, though.
like a little baby
Nobody's going
meatloaf.
to go check out Batman Damned for that. There's also a story. Like, there's some beautiful art, and it's...
There is some beautiful art.
It's a very good
There's also
story.
some
Lee Bear
ridiculous
Mayhew's art
things
is
in it.
fantastic in that. But, yeah.
Look at little Robin.
So Robin's looking out the window with his binoculars, and he's like, Batman, it's a bat signal in smoke. And he's like, what
Good
else
job
can it
knowing
be?
what smoke is,
Except,
Robin.
and he's looking, and he's like, oh, this gets more incredible, Batman. There's a boy down there who looks exactly like me.
Uh-oh.
Robin has a twin in the middle of nowhere.
Robin, that's a reflection you're seeing.
So they
That's
land?
how windows work.
He's like a bird, just like pecking at the...
It's like, Batman, I see myself.
And he's on binoculars, too. Now he's not. Now he is.
He's like,
now he's not.
I got to pee. And then this.
Well, that's what he's doing. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, Robin. Got it.
So they decide to land the bat plane. The bat plane.
How do I kill this kid?
And when they land, this was the first thing that I thought kind of was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it goes, a bat signal in the form of smoke and a boy who looks exactly like you, Robin. This calls for an immediate investigation.
What?
And deep in the woods, still another surprise. A canoe bearing a bat symbol. And a cavern like a bat cave.
Yeah.
I thought that you'd appreciate the canoe
Well,
with
it's
the
kind
bat
of like the
symbol on
last
it.
one where they had the hole they went in, you know?
Oh, under the farmhouse. They found the abandoned farmhouse.
hole. Yeah. Where they were doing Cave Boy Batman or whatever it was.
Well,
what was the last one?
Abandoned Bat Hombre.
Bat Hombre. That's
Yeah.
right. Because in
We are
South
going-
America, people live in caves.
Underneath abandoned
Yep,
farmhouses.
that's how it works.
We are just going through all the many faces of Batman. That's
what this is about, right?
That's what all this is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, oh, listen, there's voices coming inside that cave. I wonder what it is.
There's a donkey in there, Batman. I love donkeys. Let's go see the donkey, Batman.
And a bunch of cameras. What are they doing?
Look at them.
It says it takes Bitcoin. So
Ping pong balls keep flying out of the cave. What's going on?
anyway, oh man. So Batman and Robin show up,
That's what it sounds like.
and we see this.
Look at that emphatic what that Batman questions with.
That's
I
the
mean,
only
those are
time
like
anything
3D
shows up like
letters.
that too. It is.
What? That's what that sounds like.
That's what I think. He just walks in. He's like,
Yeah.
what?
What?
It's like a Scooby Doo kind of what. And so the guy or the boy who looks like Robin tells the chief that's in here that
The boy who looks like Robin is not enough. The boy who is dressed exactly like Robin, with the exception of a headdress. That's what we're dealing with here.
That is what we're
He is
dealing
a
with here.
carbon copy of Robin,
Robin
or
carbon
Lil Raven.
exactly, Lil Raven.
Yeah, it's a Lil Raven.
So he walks in, and Lil Raven is talking to, we find out, his dad, who goes, no, Father, you can't go out. Now, as chief man of bats,
Yeah.
your wound will betray you.
Sure, chief
then-
man of bats.
Batman, Robin, the great mystery has sent you. Don't know what the great mystery is. We never find
It's
that
that
out.
thing in the sky, man.
And then Batman's, what?
What?
So Chief Man of Bats, which is, I guess, his
It's so
his
dumb sounding.
that's his Batman name.
Yeah, okay.
His actual name is Great Eagle. He
Okay.
says Great Eagle is my real name.
I can way get on board with Gray Eagle faster
no,
than I
great.
can Chief Man
Great,
of
not
Bats.
gray.
Whatever.
Great.
Either one.
Oh,
Great Gray. Either one is better than Chief Man of Bats.
Well, no, that's his Batman name.
Whatever, man.
So like when
Come
he's
on.
out fighting as Batman, it's Chief Man of
I'm
Bats
Chief
and
Man of
Little
Bats.
Raven.
Nope, now I'm just Gray
So
Eagle.
instead of Batman and Robin, it's Chief Man of Bats and Little Raven.
Okay.
We are the and his
And their
son's name.
canoe.
So that's the thing. So his son's name. Or wait, is Lil Raven?
Lil Raven's Robin. I said
No,
it
but I think
earlier.
his name is also Little Eagle.
Lil Eagle, Lil
His
Robin,
son's
same
name
thing.
is Little Eagle. I think it's Great Eagle and Little Eagle, and then he's
Okay.
also Little Raven.
That makes sense.
So the
Sure.
kid has an identity
All
crisis
this is
with so many
great so
birds.
far.
But and he tells him that he's dressed as him because he's known as Chief Man of Bats.
Hmm.
In their war against crime, they operate very much like he does, and that this cave is their version of the Bat Cave.
Okay.
No understanding or no explanation of how he knows about Batman.
Yeah, I don't know how
Or-
they figured this out.
They don't. We don't get an explanation for that. Batman's just like, amazing, but tell me, how were you wounded? Batman doesn't care about anything else but that. And he tells him that the villainous Black Elk, which is a man, not a black elk,
Okay.
and his raiders have seen or have been terrorizing the countryside, and they've been trying to put an end to them. But today, and then we get like a flashback, and it shows that Black Elk led a raid on the village, and that before he could switch to his Man of Bats attire, he caught a spear to his shoulder. So Black Elk stabbed Great Eagle in the shoulder,
With
and
a
that's
spear.
where his bandage is.
Sure.
Yes. And Black Elk tells him that long have I thought that you and Man of Bats are the same person. Now, if he shows up and his shoulder's hurt, or he doesn't show up at all, like that'll make my suspicions feel like I might be onto something.
Good thinking, Black
Right?
Elk.
So we go back. I love also just like all the how Batman's in a circle. It just makes me laugh because it makes me think of how you like putting people in circles.
It is so silly.
Putting
looking.
people
Yeah,
in
I do like
circles.
putting people in circles.
Can we do? Oh, I'd have to switch. the
No,
whole
don't
thing.
put us in circles.
I was going to put us in circles. Fine. So
Chief Manabats here for Manitoba cigarettes.
So he tells him, Batman comes up with the idea. Really, he doesn't come up with an idea. He just goes, Robin, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And Robin goes, I'd say so.
No explanation.
And he tells him, Great Eagle, supposing Robin and I played the roles of Chief Manabats and Little Raven. He's like, why don't we fill in for you guys?
Yeah, are you thinking what I'm thinking, Robin? Yep. What am I thinking, Robin? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's like whatever
exactly
Batman
it,
was going to tell him, Robin was going to be down for.
I don't know.
So then Great Eagle tells him that would, save the situation. We must get you into my costume so you can get acquainted with my utility belt.
Sure.
I don't know how to get past this next panel, but
just do it.
The belt contains dyes which you can apply to your skins, is what the Chief tells Batman. So Batman and Robin do essentially the Native American form of blackface.
Nice.
And then
that's where we were in 1962.
1954.
The same thing.
But we reprinted it in 62.
Yeah.
So it was fine still 8 years later. And then he fashions the headdress on Batman and he tells him there you go. Now nobody will be able to tell that you're not Chief Man of Bats. And he goes, but whatever you do, you must perform only in Indian fashion.
Okay.
Audio people can't tell that.
What does that mean?
I shook my head before I said that because I don't know what that means either. But that's how they have to perform. If not, people will guess immediately that you were stand-ins for us. It's kind of like on Monday when he stopped by to tell the president who was dying that I'm going to go off and kill, what was it, El Papagayo? He would have had to have done a fake accent to try to pretend to be. We haven't thought of just how culturally inappropriate Batman is in these stories.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he has to do everything I'm assuming the Chief would do.
Sure.
I'm thinking he's you can't use, what the story boils it down to is you can't use your fancy gadgets to do things. You're going to have to use other senses and stuff to figure out the story. We flash to a different area where this is where our oil derricks come in, where Black Elk is leading the rest of his tribe on an attack on an armored car.
Okay.
They shoot the tires out with arrows and cause the armored truck to crash into an oil derrick.
Okay.
They also the people in the armored truck are they'll never crack through our armor. Let them have it. They're just we're just going to sit here until they get bored, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, then that doesn't work out too well because the Indians dip have arrows and they slather them or saturate them in kerosene and shoot them into the gun holes of the armored truck, and it lights the inside of the truck on fire.
Once you've been shot in the gun holes, forget about it.
You only want to do that once or twice. 3 times, no sir. And so then the guards come out and they go to steal this payroll payment.
None of this makes any freaking sense. So why is this armored car going through oil field territory? People understand that, whenever when you get oil from the ground, number one, it's not oil, right? And number two, somebody's not just lined up to pay you in cash right there.
Well, so that's why
I'm Big Tex Tycoon. I'll buy all your oil. That's not the way it works.
I'm Big Tex Tycoon. Is that our T-shirt for this
Big
one?
Tex Tycoon. Yeah.
Every episode we've got 5 or 6 designs now. We just got to go back and keep track of them.
Big Tex Tycoon.
Big Tex Tycoon. I'll pay you in cash.
I'm here to buy your Earl.
Our payroll's never been stopped by an evil Indian chief.
No.
All right. So
it's just so crazy to me that there's an armored carrier in the middle of this oil field country, and that not only that, now it's being attacked by a troop of bad Indians that are led by a guy named Black Elk, which I thought when we went to the Indian thing that it would be like a time shifting kind of thing. Right?
I thought so too when I was diving into the story.
Yeah, either time shift or another part of the world where the light doesn't touch kind of thing, or whatever, right?
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
But now we're just in some West Texas oil field and there's a bunch of Indians attacking it.
Essentially, that is it. So they, and it's just a payroll payment. That's what I love too. It's
how much payroll?
A lot. So Batman fights off all of these Indians. Well, actually, I love how while he's fighting the other tribesmen, there's the Black Elk says, A spear in his back will settle all. Then I shall reveal what I've always suspected, that they are really Great Eagle and Little Raven.
Sure.
Here's the thing, though. I just realized Little Raven doesn't get a name change.
He doesn't get called by Little Raven.
Oh no, he's Little Eagle. It's but
yeah, but now he's mixing them.
he's mixing. You're right. He's mixing the two together because on the last page,
Stupid black elk.
what does it say? Great
Idiot.
Eagle, Little Raven. Maybe it is just Little Raven, but then that means if his son is Little Raven,
So he's always Little Raven?
well then no, duh. You would think his dad is Chief Man.
That's what I'm
of
saying.
Bats.
He could never take the suit off. He can't do anything.
It's like if I was just like, here. It's when we started doing video.
No,
it's
no,
like
no,
every
no.
week
I'm
you
the
wore.
other Little Raven.
Yeah.
The other one.
But I mean, it's like you always wore a mask,
Yes.
and it's just like I'm
Still wearing
Zach,
one.
and that is Chief Big Bear. And every week you were Chief Big Bear, and nobody
Don't think
could
I
put
went by
together.
that, but all right.
He couldn't put together that the previous like 80 episodes we did together weren't just the two of us. Now, no, that's Chief Big Bear and
No,
Zach.
Chief
That's
Big
not
Bear
Mike
now.
and Zach.
Yep.
Anyway,
The other
also
guy died.
I also didn't think where he was like, now I shall be able to reel by stabbing him. Didn't he just say the same thing about spearing him earlier? So does he say that about every time he's going to spear him?
He has a limited vocabulary.
Batman blocks the spear and uses it. Black Elk tells the rest of his gang 100 arrows for him. Hurry. And they go to fire and they draw their bows. And as they go to shoot, Batman uses the spear and as a vaulting pole to jump over them. But as you can see down there in the bottom,
Oh, my God.
he's honestly just like hanging in the air. And they're just like, and they all miss. And they're like, oh, rats.
This is like a stormtrooper type situation.
So it is.
Yeah.
Except somebody hit their head. They notice that the old derrick is about to crash onto the armored truck that's on fire, so everybody flees. But
Oh
don't
my
worry,
God,
Batman and
your
Robin
face.
have a two-man bucket brigade to put it out, and
His
they put out the
face
fire.
is so red.
It is.
Him and Little Eagle.
It is.
They're
It's
so red.
But it's.
That's terrible.
See, it is
I
terrible.
know, I get it.
But
I get it.
no. But here's the thing that I don't get.
Yeah.
They picked and chose because like they didn't do it there.
Yeah,
They did it there.
yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I
They
know.
didn't do it.
I know.
Anyway, and
Even
also,
Black Elk's not that red.
No.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
it would
Well,
make
it's
more
like-
sense if they all were kind of the same, whatever.
It's kind of like I think I told you what that Marvel would say
this
in the
really
70s.
stands out.
It does. Well, like what Marvel would say in this, it was the 70s when they were doing Tales of Kung Fu, which is like about Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
and they would get letters about like, hey, why are here Asian characters like have yellow skin still? And they're like, oh no, it's just the printing press and
No,
all we
it's
do. Like, that's
not.
all we can do.
No, it's not.
They found a way to fix it pretty quickly. So it's just anyway. We're not going to focus on the absolute ignorance of this part of it. We're just going to focus on the ridiculousness.
Oh, it's my
of
favorite
it.
though. Look at the arrows.
So,
Pointing
that's what I was going to tell you.
which
Get
squares
ready,
you
Mike.
read
It is
first.
about to get super confusing.
All right, cool.
So they put out the fire, and then they realize, oh, we have to track Black Elk. And
So the fire that they
rest-
put out is because they stuck their arrows in kerosene and shot it at the big van,
yes,
right?
at the big
Okay.
van
All
fire. So they go
So
to
now
the,
they're just completely out of arrows, I guess.
yep.
Everybody's used up all their arrows.
No,
One shot.
They retreated because they thought that everything was going to catch fire. So they were getting
Right,
away
but I'm
before.
saying he said 100 arrows for him
Oh,
right now. And so now everybody shot their whole wad.
yeah.
And like nobody has any arrows left, so they just
gotta go
hightail it.
or they're running and picking them up as they go. Like you ever play?
Well, that's
like,
kind of
like,
my thought, right?
You ever play like Oblivion or something? Like
Well,
the
that's
arrows
what
you
I'm
miss, you
saying.
go back and you skip.
There's
them
just
back
one
up.
guy, like Jeff, go over there and pick up all those arrows.
Jeff is the arrow hunter. Yeah, arrow hunter, the arrow gatherer.
Arrow hunter
yeah.
Jeff,
Oh, Jeff.
big DC
I
title.
feel like we used to make fun of Jeff. He's one of our listeners. By the way, one of my favorite
I think we have
comments
more than one Jeff.
that we've gotten recently.
Yeah,
Nobody's listening to this. That was it. That was the.
that was
comment.
the whole thing.
That was the comment. It was just.
I've stopped.
Nobody listens to this.
I've
and I was
stopped
like,
to
"Thanks."
listen to this to tell you that nobody's listening to this.
Yep.
Yes, that's wonderful.
So those are always my favorite. Anyway,
Congratulations.
so
child.
they go to track Black Elk, and that's when Robin's like, "Why don't we hop in the bat plane and just go over and find him?" And Batman's like, "No, we can't do that. We
Makes total
told.
sense.
Remember, we have to handle this like Indians." That's what he tells
Oof.
Robin.
Okay.
And so they're like, "Look at the track." He goes, "See below on the river bottom, small stones and pebbles have been overturned. The pattern continues southward." And he's like, "Okay." So we can like follow. We see that they took it this far, and they can see where they went into the water and when they went out. Essentially, what I've determined from this, even though they don't want to say it, is handling things like Indians, that seems so derogatory here, essentially means Batman becomes a better detective.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Batman needs to do his fucking job is what he's apparently doing, is by doing things a certain way. So they come out of the riverbed, and they then lose the trail there because they come to what they call, it's like lava land. What does they say? It's flat and stony. They call it like lava something, the stone. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, lava flats. They come to the lava flats.
Oh, of course, the lava flats.
And there's like, the horses won't leave prints on hard stone. Like, what are we going to do now? We've lost the trail. And Batman says, no. Like, they don't put horseshoes on their horses. So do you see the small scrapings of this bony substance? That's left by the feet of the horses, so we'll just follow this powder. I guess it's a powdery substance. Like, I don't know how big. They're not leaving chunks of their hooves while they,
You saw how none of those horses have feet, right?
Yeah. Here you go, Mike, when I told you I was going to get confused.
Oh, my God. Look at all the arrows.
Was that the right one? Yeah. So, finally, as dawn breaks, they come and they find this old mine that they think Black Elk is using as a hideout.
Of course, it's an old mine.
And so they decide, all right, we're going to climb up on that building to get a better view. Okay. There's a giant, like, farm building. I don't know what to describe it. They call it it's like a 2-story house, but Batman and Robin are going to jump from the mine tracks. I'm trying to explain this a little better for our audio people. From the mine tracks onto this, like, 2-story house kind of. They're going to climb up on the edge of the roof.
It's like a house on stilts.
It is, and peer over the edge of the roof of the house to see what's going on.
Sure.
Just think of, like, any, like, crazy hijinks of, like, think like Indiana Jones or any movie like that. Like, I'm going to see what the bad guys are doing. Creep over. I mean, Indiana Jones is good, so think of something a little worse. But I'm going to like creep over and be like, oh, what are they doing? Like, that's what.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Like a Jones.
I love this. It says, but just then, and Batman looks to Robin and goes, oh no, those shadows. Because while they're sitting on the roof of the house, you see the shadows of like a few Black Elk's men kind of like there. And he goes, oh, those shadows. We've got company. Act like we don't see them, but get ready to dive for the monorail car.
What?
Act like you don't see them.
Act like you don't see them.
They're sneaking up on us. Act like you don't see them, but get ready. So
you play oblivious very well, Robin. Good job.
So they dive over. They dive over the roof and land in the mine cart as all the arrows miss that were going to be shot at them. And they ride the mine cart.
Shots.
They ride the mine cart, and Batman's like holding his shield in front of him and Robin as all the arrows are like bouncing off of it.
This is all we'll need, Robin.
Yeah, as they ride across the mine cart tracks. And Robin takes his rope and like lassos part of it as Batman tells him to, and he pulls them along by the rope, which also in this, I want to point out, because he tells Robin when to jump, and then he goes, we set the car in motion. It's carrying us towards the unloading platform. Low bridge, Robin. And so they all kind of like duck down. And then he goes, all right, we're stopping. Lasso that platform, Robin.
Robin would not see a low bridge?
No. And then Batman's also telling him, like, lasso that and pull us in. Essentially, Batman is just bossing Robin around through all this. He's not even helping. He's just like, Robin, duck. Robin, time to do that. Robin, do that.
I think I would too, though. Robin's kind of an idiot.
I feel like Batman should be the one doing more, though. Like,
what's Robin gonna do? He's got nothing to do.
Yeah. So they get close enough.
Look at his face down there. He's got nothing to do. Look at that kid. Good job, Robin.
So Batman and Robin, after the platform he's tied into, they swing out of the minecart and into the open window of this platform. And Robin says, we're safe for now, but they have the place surrounded. Capture means the stripping off of our mask. And he goes, I know, but they think we're really Great Eagle and Little Raven. Yeah, Little Raven doesn't get another name. How do you not know that it's Great Eagle?
This is silly.
Right? All right. It's anyway. So swiftly,
capture means they tie us up, Batman. Capture means we don't get to do what we wanna.
Swiftly, Batman removes some tiny missiles from
Excuse me?
Swiftly, Batman removes some tiny missiles from the utility belt and smoke pellets. That's our way out.
Tiny missiles.
He drops that are
from
smoke pellets.
from Great Eagle's utility belt. He had tiny missiles.
That's what they described. They're just smoke pellets.
Okay.
So he drops the smoke pellets, but instead of disappearing in them, it's just like clouds of smoke just start puffing out of the window.
Yeah. It's his bat
So
signal.
Black Elk and his men just all start shooting their arrows up them at there.
That's worked well so far.
Yeah. They haven't been able to hit him yet, but maybe he's
No.
hoping one. Just one is all we need.
Greetings, gentlemen. Here's broadside of a barn. Try hitting that.
He goes, "We've got you, Great Eagle, and I know that you and Man of the Bats are the one are
such a
one and the
terrible name.
same." And so Batman's like, "Only one arrow left. After that, it's curtains. We've protected Great Eagle's identity, but now we're in danger of revealing our own." So Batman tells Robin. Robin says, "Listen, they're shouting about something," and they look outside the window, and one of his men says, "Look, Black Elk, it's Great Eagle himself. He and Man of Bats cannot possibly be the same person." "Then who can Man of Bats be?" is what Black Elk says. And about that time, Batman throws a lasso that he had down, apparently.
Sure.
And he like ties him up, and he pulls Black Elk up into like the oil derrick platform thing they're on. And he goes, "A question you shall never have the answer to, Black Elk." And Black Elk's like, "Don't let me fall." And Batman tells him, "Then tell your raiders to lay down their arms and submit to Great Eagle and talk fast. My hands are growing tired."
Talk fast. My hands are growing tired.
And so
I said
presently,
that in Reno once, and it cost me extra.
And so presently, it shows Great Eagle speaking to Batman in his garb still, with all the bad guys tied up. And he goes, "Many jails are anxious to accommodate Black Elk. Thanks to you, Man of the
jails
Bats."
are anxious.
That's what I'm not understanding. Are there ever any jails like at any time be like, "Man, I sure
Jails are
hope
like,
you get
boy,
that
oh,
criminal."
boy, I wish we had some prisoners.
Just that criminal, man. That'd be really cool for us to get.
We get $25 a day for them to sit
And he
there.
goes, he and his raiders will soon be behind bars. And then the group's like, "I wonder who you are, Man of the Bat. Someday I shall find out." Like, Black Elk's not giving this up. Then much later, I don't know how long much later is, back at Great Eagle's cave, Batman tells him, like, "Your real identity remains a secret, but now we must leave. The bat plane is nearby, and we have many miles to cover tonight." And so Great Eagle thanks him, and he goes, "Had I not seen your smoke screen or your smoke signals, Black Elk may have learned of your identity, but that too remains a secret. Farewell, Batman." So the smoke pellets he was going to use to escape, he just sent a smoke signal out of the window to get Great Eagle
That's
to
how
come.
Great Eagle got it.
Can we not talk about where did Batman learn how to do any of this?
He didn't. I think it's just a lucky guess on his part. It's all he had, because he said no. I would like to go back to one thing he said earlier.
Oh, should I finish the story? We got one more panel, or do you want?
No, he goes, "One arrow left."
Yeah.
How do you know that? How do you know there's only one arrow left?
No,
Did
he's
you-
talking about that they only have one arrow left.
Oh, I thought he was saying the bad guys only had one arrow.
No, we only have one arrow.
Oh, okay. I got it. Okay. Sorry. My mistake. This is a perfectly normal story.
Yeah. And as the bat plane takes off for Gotham City, Great Eagle looks at Little Raven, I guess, or Little Eagle. I don't know. And he goes,
Little Raven Eagle.
"Who knows that maybe one day, my son, we can go to the great city and do them a favor. We shall see." Do they know their identities? They didn't talk about telling it.
I don't know. I think number one, Batman said, "Robin, GTFO," and they just like took off real quick.
But
right?
then they wanted you to think that, "Oh, hey, you really like this Chief Man of Bats?
Yeah.
They may show up in Gotham City."
I do it. Again,
Wah, wah, wah,
no
wah.
explanation as to how they even know about Batman. No explanation as to how this kid looks just like Robin and is dressed exactly like him. There's no explanation as to any of this stuff, and I find it hard to swallow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And by that I mean my throat is.
I
closed
got you.
up.
So let me ask you if this is a good explanation of that story. Astounding events far from Gotham City lead Batman and Robin to don the attire of Chief Man of Bats and Little Raven.
I mean, it encapsulates what we just read,
Does
but I think astounding is a little probably verbose.
Okay.
For what we just experienced. I was not astounded in any way. I couldn't even tell you why they were there again. I lost that thread. I don't even remember why they were there.
They saw the smoke signal at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's where he learned it.
Yeah.
He's a quicker picker upper.
Bounty, not a sponsor. Unless they decide to sponsor right now, and then I'll have taken that out.
Lord of Bat Manor.
Okay, I gave him time. So
God, these are something, man.
They are, and this is going to be great. So next week we're going to do Underseas Batman, Doomed
Ooh.
to Exile in the Submarine World.
Submarine World.
Your favorite heroes ingeniously fight crime on land from underwater. That is what you can expect next week. Funny enough, Mike.
Is it ingenious to be underwater while you're fighting crime on land?
Funny enough, that story also from Batman 86.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
So we know
almost
what we're in
thought-
for.
I almost thought about making a whole episode out of Batman 86 because I'm pretty sure the other story in there is
Batman
Joker
gets a hand job.
That was annual number 5. I haven't got there yet.
Faster, Robin, faster.
Had to do with like Batman had to do with like Joker bribing a sports team or something like that. So, all right, there you go. That's our world's finest
too close to the
Wednesdays.
bone these
Batman,
days.
Indian Chief. Oh, I never talked about it this whole time. I meant to at the beginning and never said a word about it, but it's here. If you've noticed, yeah, it's right underneath Mike. Oh wait, hold on. Are we trying to?
Oh,
I gotta
there.
Go. I gotta go.
There it is.
That's right. Hold on. Right.
It's right there.
Oh, this is tough. There you go. Right there is our email address, and you can't hear me. Right there is our email address. So, I can't move it.
Right up here.
Comments, recommendations, anything, feel
Over
free
there.
to send it to us. That way I put it up there so I don't forget. I always forget to say it, but we would love to hear from you. We appreciate all the comments we get from you guys. Also, all the time you guys take out and willing to watch and put up and listen to this stuff. Even if it is just to listen to a little bit of it and then to comment that nobody listens to it. I still appreciate you taking the time out to do that, sir.
You know what?
Yeah.
Nobody listens to this.
I know, it's okay, but I do. I'd say that. I need to go back and do it a little bit better to get some shorts done. Oh, man.
Maybe he was just quoting his mom.
Maybe.
You know?
And he just didn't have the things. But thank you
Barry,
guys.
nobody listens to this.
Mom, meatloaf. So
Mom, meatloaf.
thank you guys as always for taking the time out to watch and to listen. As always, also make sure to check out some of the other great podcasts on the Rogue Media Network family of podcasts.
That nobody listens to. RogueMediaNetwork.com.
Oh man. And until next time, as I try to find the clothes. There we go. Stay safe, everybody.
In the great words of Big Eagle and Little Elk Face. Wait, what do I say at the end of this thing? Golly Khan!
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.